Good afternoon, Year 4. I'm going to run you through today's HASS lesson, which is all about using scale. So first of all, I want you to imagine that, I want you to close your eyes and imagine that you have to create a map that's the same size as Australia. You wouldn't be able to do it, would you? You wouldn't be able to have a map that is the actual size of Australia. So a map of Australia has to be smaller than Australia, doesn't it? And that's basically the concept with all maps. So the way in which we do that is we use scale. So 1 centimetre on a map of Australia might be equal to 10 kilometres. Okay? So the real distance being shown by 1 centimetre is different for each type of map. So a map of a classroom, 1 centimetre might mean 1 metre. For a map of the world, 1 centimetre might mean 10,000 kilometres. So that's what a scale tends to look like. Now what you're going to have in front of you is this sheet here, which is called Dream Island. Now what I want you to do is I want you to work through these questions. We'll actually do A together here, and then I'm going to get you to work through the rest of them, and then I'll show you my answers. So 1A says, how wide is 1 square on a grid? So if you go up to the grid, see if you can find the scale and tell me and decide what 1 square is actually equal to. Yes, 1 square, as you can see in the right hand corner, is equal to 1 kilometre. All right? So the first question I actually made a mistake on, because the key word here is estimate. So what it wants you to do is it wants you to estimate the distance from one place to another, and it wants you to do that by counting the squares and writing down that answer in kilometres. So I want you to write down all your estimates, and then after that you can get your ruler and you can measure the distances with your ruler. Now you'll find that some of them will be between a centimetre. So some of them might be 3.5 centimetres, in which it would mean 3.5 kilometres. So you're going from counting the squares and having a guess in part 1, and then in part 2, you're actually measuring those with your ruler, and then you're telling me why it was important to estimate before. Then number 3 says direction. You need to find the starting point, find the end point, tell me the direction it's going in, whether it's north, south, east, or west, and the estimated distance. The first one has been done for you. So I want you to work through all of those by yourself. Pause the video, and then I'm going to show you my answers. Don't unpause until you've finished it. Okay, so the first one, here are my answers. For 1A, we talked through that together. It was 1 kilometre. B, I counted 12 squares, so that's 12 kilometres. C, I counted 5 squares, so that's 5 kilometres. D, I counted 4 squares, so that's 4 kilometres. Now, if you were maybe one off, like if you counted 13 or 6 or 5 or 1 less, that's fine. We all have a different perspective, don't we? All right? The next one is where it'll be a bit more accurate because we'll be measuring from the actual place to the other place using our ruler. So this was what I got for number 2. For A, I got 11.5 kilometres. B, I got 5 kilometres exactly. C, I got 4.8 kilometres. And in D, it's up to you how you explained it. Now, this is what I wrote. It is important to estimate before measuring so you can determine a reasonable answer first. That way you will know if your real answer is close to your guess. So we estimate as adults in our everyday life. And we estimate because we need to get a reasonable answer. So we need to get an approximate answer. That way when we get our actual answer, we can compare the two. And if our guess was, way different to our actual answer, that's when we start to think, okay, maybe we've made a mistake. But if your guess and your answer are quite close, it usually means that you're on the right track. Okay? Now 3. Here are my answers for number 3 if you want to pause the video. For the first one, koalas to the snorkeling, we travelled east 5 kilometres. Remember, it's an estimated distance, so it's not an actual distance. Next one, danger symbol to Shark Bay, we travelled northeast. Now, if you said north or east, I'd be happy with that. But if this is north and you're going in that direction, you're actually going northeast because you're going towards the north and towards the east. And from danger symbol to Shark Bay was 1 kilometre. Now, I chose the top danger symbol. You might have chosen another danger symbol. That's completely fine. Next one, fun rides to the jetty was south 8 kilometres. Next one, shipwreck to Whitewater was north 5 kilometres, and the fun rides to the airport was west 9 kilometres. Okay, so that's basically it for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a bit of fun with that. And hey, if you want to in your own time, you can create your own map of your own dream island and use a scale. Okay, so make it realistic, make it reasonable, or make it like a fantasy island, make it completely unrealistic. All right, I hope you enjoyed your learning for today, and I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy.